that you wanted to tell me about the story that you were looking at about a 28-year-old guy.
Well, I was talking to you about that. I wasn't going to talk about it on here.
I thought you were. It's right there on the board.
You made that board.
Yeah, but I put it in the damn show notes.
You made the fucking board.
I literally sent you the show notes. Yeah. You're on the show notes. I sent it to you. Of course you ignored it.
Okay, so
I don't even know why I sent it.
Yeah, I saw it and went, okay, cool.
Yeah,
because I can go with. I'll roll with whatever. Okay, I know, but it's a very controversial conversation.
Oh no, never. If it's controversial, we shouldn't do it because it's really bad for podcasts.
You and I don't agree that much on this, and I think that I come off as an asshole when we talk about it like this. But okay. So there's a guy who is only 28 years old, and I don't know where he's from exactly. He has an accent. I don't remember where he was from.
British.
Maybe. But he moved. Okay, let me start now. That in America, we have assisted suicide for terminally ill patients in Colorado is one place. A lot of people move there that are very sick, say they have a year to live, 6 months to live, and they get approved to have assisted suicide. And that means a doctor is helping you die because you're in so much pain and anguish that it's inevitable anyway. And then you get to chill with your family and friends around you and die. And it's better than waiting. So I've always been like advocate for that. I don't know how you feel about that, but I am. So this guy is 28 years old, and this one's a little different because he has bipolar disorder. I have bipolar disorder. He has it very bad. There's a spectrum. And I guess he comes out in and out of mania and depression. His depressions are really, really bad. So bad that, he wants to die.
What's the word you use for he's untreatable? Like nothing.
He's incurable, they say. Incurable. So he had to have three psychiatrists have told him he is incurable. He's medication resistant. He's tried every medication since he was 16 years old. He's done electroshock therapy, ketamine, shrooms, all the natural stuff too. And then every antipsychotic, mood stabilizer, he's tried it. Everything mixed together. His depressions are so low that he wants to kill himself every single time. So I think his thing is the Netherlands have opened up. It actually started in 2002, but more so we're hearing about it now, where someone who's super mentally ill, say schizophrenic is a big one, where they just can't get well and they're so incurable. Say they're like institutionalized, but they come in and out where they'll have some stable moments. And you can't do this unless you are clear-minded and stable to say, I want to die. You have to be, you can't just be like, I'm in a manic episode and say I want to die. You have to be of sound mind when you do this. So this guy has gone through it so many times. When he is clear, he's telling them still, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to die. So he moved to the Netherlands to have assisted suicide. And it's sad. It's so sad. It sucks. He's so young. Obviously, you wish there was something else he could do, but this is what he wants. So the process there is there's a 4-year. 4 years. So they do a psychological evaluation for 4 years. Yeah. To make sure that 3 different psychiatrists have to say. So he's doing something unique, which you can explain. What do you mean? He's in. I think he's done. Out of the 4 years, it's been a year. No, I'm saying he's doing something. He's doing something unique with his life right now. He's documenting He's documenting it until his death. Dinners. Yes. Yeah. I'm getting there. Yeah. He's documenting it every day on his Instagram. He's already been doing it for like 6 years, documenting every depression he's gone through. He's trying to explain to people how bad this is. And so people have reached out and asked him over for dinner. Like, come over for dinner. Let us break bread together before you go. Let me cook you. It's almost like he's having last meal. People's favorite last meal, but it's like his. And he's going to do this and he's meeting done it people. 57 times already in like 4 or 5 different countries where people have brought him there to eat with them, just to have dinner with them and talk. And he said he appreciates it. It has not hurt, but it hasn't helped. Mm-hmm. So he wants to die. And I say, you know what? Like, what do we have control over if we don't have control over our body and our minds? I know that you were feeling a little queasy and different about that. I'll tell you my side. But like, shouldn't we have autonomy over our bodies? Yeah. You know? So one of the things about you that I always appreciate and love is you're just really empathetic.
right? So you see people suffering, whatever it is, and you want them to get the help that they want and deserve and whatever. And so like you're single focused because you're so present with that person that's where your brain goes, right? Well, ChatGPT even mentioned this about our brains being different.
Yeah.
You're
logical and
my brain comes more like from a macro level.
It says from an analytical level,
right?
And mine more emotional.
So like for me, I'm detached from this one specific case, and I think of, okay, I look at what are the societal impacts of this sort of thing. I look at a couple things. First of all, he's 28. He's young and healthy physically, right? Not mentally.
I didn't think it hurts you physically to be.
Well, I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is the point I was making about the physical part is he's more than capable on his own because like to commit suicide. Like he could do it, right? There's nothing holding him back. Some of the terminally ill people, they don't have any access to anything. Like they can't kill themselves, right?
Okay, but
he can't.
The reason I think that he doesn't want to, really quick, is that he said he doesn't want his mother or a friend finding him shot or hanging or some terrible thing, right? He wants them to hold his hand and sit with him in his last moments.
Got it.
And finally feel some sort of peace.
Yeah, got it. So like you explained, the emotional part, right? And for me, I look at it, like I said, I'm looking at the macro level in terms of like because I'm a rules nerd and I want to think about like, what is the best thing for society as a whole? So in a case like this, I have concerns, right? First of all, his age is an issue. That's why when you said 28, I was like, God.
Yeah, he's been doing it since he was 16.
It's very young. Like, there's plenty of people that have been, at death's door or suicidal and have, changed their mind and come back. It is possible.
True.
Right?
Not necessarily people with mental illness like
there's
this.
There's also possibly in 3 to 5 years some medical breakthroughs, or maybe there is a medication that does balance him out.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to wait.
Right. So but where I get tied up with this is like, okay, you don't want. If you don't, you want to live, you can die now. You can do it however you like. The difference is when you're asking, say, government or doctors to do it for you, so the question is, what is the definition of murder, right? Because like essentially, if I'm a doctor, you're a sick patient, and you say you want to die, and I kill you, like I killed you, right? I murdered you.
But they've deemed you incurable.
I murdered you with your consent, but I murdered you, right? So then I get concerned.
Don't use the word murder for that.
Well, I killed you.
I mean, it makes no sense.
Killed, whatever.
When they say, Daniel, you're incurable. You're incurable.
Okay, well, I'm just using a word. I'm saying from a legal definition perspective, right?
That's not.
Because that's what I'm trying to do it this way, where you came from the empathy part, right? Now let me.
But when you say murder,
because in the court of law, it's that's what the word they would use, right? So
medically assisted suicide.
Okay,
that's what they would use,
right? If it's legal in those cases,
yes.
But essentially, what's happened. So then, let me get to some of my more deeper concerns. One is, we've seen that crazy doctor who was giving people all kinds of fucking.
That happens every day.
The psycho who was just killing people.
Well, he was giving surgery on people.
Yeah, and he was just giving people surgery they didn't need.
It's happened a million times.
So, so this blends into my next part is like the coercion aspect, right? A lot of power for doctors to have to sort of, manipulate someone's
and not
mind.
many doctors want to do this.
No, of course, I wouldn't. So my response to that is, my line would be this: provide him with the resources so that he can do it himself. So this is what you'll need to have a peaceful death. Here's the needle. Here's the drugs. Here are the pills. I'll give them to you. All of it. I'm not doing it.
They do that in Colorado.
Right. I'm like, I'm not going to be the one who does it. I will allow you to make the choice for yourself because you are an able-bodied, person. And if that's your decision, that's your decision. My other concern with this would be, we know social contagion is real on a wide spectrum of things, right? Another concern I would have is, many people go through lows and depressions, right? If this thing, and with social media, I said this right before bed, the scary part of social media is these social contagions spread 1 billion times faster, like anorexia, for example.
Sure.
It's a hop, step, and a jump for a girl to look at some workout videos, and all of a sudden she's seeing all these videos of anorexic people.
Death is final, though.
Got it. I'm not. Okay.
You know what I mean, though?
I understand.
It's a different kind of thing.
That's why it's so important, right? Suicidal. So now my concern is, and there's other areas where we've seen this happen with the social media boom, is these kids now, or not kids, but just people who are struggling in their life. They don't want to live anymore. They're depressed, whether clinically, whether they're diagnosed or not, and they say, "That sounds like what I want." Right?
Okay, so let me move to the Netherlands and wait 4 years.
No, I'm not talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. So again, what you're doing is you're individualizing this one case.
no, I'm
thinking,
telling you the process. So it can't be a quick thing.
right, in that case. So what all I'm doing is playing devil's advocate for in the sake of like, from a legal perspective, like how should governments handle this, right? And should they enable, assist, and all these kind of things? And I think for me, I agree with you 100% on the medical part. Like if you're physically incapable of doing it yourself and you want that, 100%, you're a cancer patient, whatever. I think in cases like this, it's a little bit of a slippery slope because because let's say, for example, someone's terminally ill, they got no outs. Somebody who's incurable doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be incurable 5 years from now. You know?
But it's just not our choice. Yeah, I feel you.
I get it. It's not our choice, but the question is, should someone else have the power, to do that willingly? And I think again, my concern would be mainly teenagers, mainly younger people who live on social media and they deal with so much pain and suffering emotionally because of the stuff they read on there, the depression that they experience.
Yeah,
and
I understand
so
what
as
you're
long
saying.
as it was like I said, I do really like that it's 4 years.
And you have to have a very strong mental illness.
I think
can't just
4
be
years.
sad.
I think 4 years at a minimum. My concern then becomes with like this stuff starts to spread, and we'll see like 4 years turn into 3, and then you have some clinics who are like, "Nah, don't worry about the 4."
This isn't new though.
No, I understand, but it's not. It hasn't happened a lot, right?
In the Netherlands since 2002.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's not something that's like caught fire, and not a lot of people.
Thousands, but not.
Yeah, not a lot of people using that.
But I think the thing is it can't just be like, oh, I'm sad. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I get that. Like
they
I said,
have to have been institutionalized.
I appreciate the 4 years, but again, we don't usually talk about this subject. I don't want to, but just like, treating, children with dysphoric ideas, right? Every clinic will do it differently. Some will stick with more rigid, stricter rules that are like 4 years. And then others would sort of skip the line and, push it through for whatever, reasons and stuff. Yeah. So as long as it was like a hard line and it was very
we
thorough,
don't do it here. So
as long as it's very thorough and whatever. But again, I think like the difference is he does not have a need to be assisted. Like the people that are terminally ill have an actual need. He doesn't have that need. It's a want for him. He wants
it's a safe place.
Right. He wants to have a peaceful with his family, all this sort of stuff. So that's a want.
He can do that at home. But I think that there's things that can go wrong where you don't die right away and maybe you see things happen.
So what you could do then is a happy compromise is, okay, I'm going to have a home gathering and I'm going to do it today. You're going to have a nurse on call. She doesn't do anything unless there's complications. And if there's complications, then
I understand,
but she wouldn't have to like actually. So
we're okay with like him doing this with the pills and whatever he's doing.
Oh, yeah. I always think everyone should be allowed to kill themselves. Why would how can you make that a law?
The doctor's not allowed to help because you don't want him to help.
I would be concerned.
You know what I mean? Like,
I would be concerned about the legal ramifications of a person who has the power to end life that isn't terminally ill. That would be a concern for me. So I would look at other options. Like I said, allow the person to facilitate on their own. Whether they let the family do it or let somebody have them trained and do whatever. It's not that difficult.
I'm just saying, if a doctor is open to that and they want to end someone's suffering, and they're just a normal doctor who's very studied in this area, I'm not going to say they shouldn't do something that they want to do. I just don't feel that way.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, then it goes into this thing. I wanted to talk about the same thing about the prison stuff. Like, do you know that on death row, you have to be healthy to die? Do you know how much money we spend for death row people before they can die? Say they need surgery because their appendix burst. Instead of just letting them die, because they're about to die in a week in the electric chair or whatever they have, we have to give them surgery and they have to be healthy before we can kill them. How wild is that?
It's all stupid.
So there was a show. This guy had to have brain surgery and he kept saying, I'm going to die in a week.
What's the point of this?
Just let me die in a week.
So what do you think the reason that they're doing this is?
They say you have to be healthy to die. We'll do everything we can. I don't know. It's so stupid. Because rules are dumb sometimes.
Well, that's something that we can both get behind. Like And there's a wide spectrum of rules that we've seen throughout time that like governments implement. And then you're like, wait a minute, this makes no sense.
Yeah, they have to have hardcore physicals to die.
Yeah.
You have to be healthy to die. And I always think that, like, what the fuck are we doing with that?
And why do we have people on death row for how many years? Like, people, what is the
Oh,
longest?
man, it could be 20, 30, it could be a long time.
Like, why do we do, what is the point? What is it? There's a waiting in line? What?
No, because there's no line, because it takes,
Then
like,
why do you wait?
I don't know. We should research that, because it's crazy, because they, like, some states that have death row, they haven't killed anybody in years and years, but there's death row.
It's like worse for them.
Because it's like a wait.
Yeah. I mean, like.
It's like you're
not a
anticipating it, but you don't know when.
It's probably like, imagine the anxiety. You just go through the roof of like, it's like you're torturing them even more.
Although
not that obviously if somebody's on death row, they don't deserve any.
Although death row inmates, they
part.
get way more shit than all the other inmates.
What do you mean more shit?
They have like televisions. They have like all kinds of cool shit on death row compared to all the other prisoners.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what it showed on Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy was really fucked up.
Yeah.
But like death, you can look it up. Death row inmates, they get a lot of time.
Sidebar on that, because I'm like, when I think about why they're doing this, I think of like money, because prisons are privatized in the United States, which I think is a real
for-profit prison we have.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up when like I own a prison. I make more money if I have more prisoners in there.
Yes.
So I have literal incentive to tell the police to go bring me more people. So now misdemeanors or whatever the case may be, just get them in here, fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be a thing. I don't think you should have for-profit prisons.
No, of course we shouldn't. It's a big thing. People have been fighting this for years, but we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you would be interested in the you have to be healthy to die thing.
It's just dumb.
It makes no sense.
Like, what's the point of that? Like, what is the justification for that?
I don't know. We should look though, because and people will tell us in the comments, I'm sure, but it's a thing. It's real. They do like major physicals.
Okay.
Before they're put under.
It made me think of this one thing, and it's a while ago. It was a long time ago. During the pandemic, it just, when you see things, you're like, what is wrong with you people?
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy in Australia, and they had crazy strict rules.
Yeah.
Can't be more than like a kilometer away from your home. You have to be masked if you're outside.
Yeah.
All the things, right? Can't be near anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, I saw the video. He's in the park, like a big park, waiting for his wife who went to go get ice cream, right? And he's smoking a cigarette. He's got 2 masks in his pocket. There's nobody near him. Nobody close. He's outside, which we already knew.
Yeah.
And the cops come and they throw him to the ground. Like he's like, I got masks in my pocket. Why are you not masked? Whatever. They on cement, like on concrete, and they put him, face down, and they arrest the guy for stuff like that. It's like, when you think of just like nonsensical shit.
Like the rules that are dumb.
Like, just tell the guy, okay, hey, if the rules are put a mask on, just tell the guy, listen, put the mask on. He would have put the mask on. You didn't need to throw him on the ground and all this kind of shit. It's like, there were so many rules. I think it woke me up to a lot of things. It's just like some of the dumb rules that were implemented, like don't go to the beach, don't go play golf. Like, those are the things that are like the most.
In the open areas like that.
Or like go to a restaurant. Okay, you're walking from here to there. Like, the ceilings are this high, wear the mask. And then when you sit down, take it off to eat.
Yeah.
And like you're on the airplane, take it off, take it on. I don't know. It's all just like, it felt like theater to me. And like, I think, with the prison stuff and a whole bunch of rules that we have, like, just doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it's like, who came up with these rules? But
and
then they've just been that way for a long time.
The thing is, some of these rules, like, nobody, like, how do you justify this stuff? Like, where's the science? Like, you say follow the science. Like, is it really like, did the science suggest that like if we have people indoors at a restaurant, that if they walk to the table,
that they won't get it?
Like, is this going to have an impact? Are we like, this is really going to be the difference? We forget about the ventilation system that's blowing all the same air.
But usually, isn't it like we do everything because of money, right? It's always the thing like, oh, what's going to save us money in the long run? But like with the prison thing, it's like we're spending a lot of money to do that, to keep those people on death row.
Somebody's making money, right? That's the thing. Somebody's making money.
But we're spending a lot to
who's we?
Like the government in general. I'm saying there's a lot going on to keep someone on death row that we're paying for them to be there.
I have no trust that there's not like, I mean, it's all corrupt to me. Like, there's kickbacks, you know what I mean? There's a reason why it's still churning the way that it does.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why the government does it, with the reason why these prisons continue to run the way they do. It's because like at the end, if you really go down most rabbit holes of why there's things that don't make a lot of sense, it's usually somebody's making a lot of money because of it. And that's why.
Oh, let me ask you this. It might be morbid, but like, there's ways you can die. I think South Carolina still has this, but you can die gas chamber, like where they suck the air out of you, electric chair. Then you have just like needle in your arm, go to sleep, which feels like the best way to go to me. But that can mess up too sometimes, and you don't die immediately. They still have a firing squad one where you just stand there and then they fire at you with guns. A firing squad is still a thing in a couple states.
I remember there was a time where people would do the firing squad because they would say like, then the shooter wouldn't know if it was them or not. Because like the trauma of the people shooting. Like,
oh yeah, that happens.
They wouldn't know like if it was actually them that did it. And that supposedly like helps them.
Do you know a lot of people who have pulled the lever for the electric chair, those people, because they're just people. They're not like, I mean, they're just learning to kill people in that. They've committed suicide.
Yeah. Look at the numbers, and you can't, because this is one of the things, and I'm not going to get into the vegan rant, but like, and you, I know you don't like these subjects, but like,
I don't mind what subjects.
Look at the statistics and the mental state of people who work in slaughter farms, like pig farms.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine.
A crazy amount of people dealing with mental issues, because you can't be around that much constant screaming and death and pain and all that stuff.
No, it would be
not have an effect
terrible
on you.
I want to see. Let's ask my pal when the last time a firing squad was used.
Okay.
When was the last time a
I'm gonna turn
firing
the air
squad
down.
was used to kill someone on death row?
Your friend Ishan?
Yeah.
Ishan Ra?
I
Hey,
think this
Ishan,
is-
what are you wearing right now?
Okay, look. Holy shit. March 7th, 2025. Holy
Oh, wow.
shit. Like a week ago.
Here in the United States?
Brad Sigmund was executed in South Carolina. I knew it was South
Your
Carolina.
spot.
I'm in North Carolina.
Whatever. Carolina.
It's very different. Okay. This marked the first use of this method in the U.S. in 15 years. Prior to that, the last person was Ronnie Lee.
So he chose it?
In Utah. Yeah, you choose it. So the reintroduction of firing squad in South Carolina
Who would want that?
stems from challenges in obtaining drugs. Challenges. Oh, maybe he didn't. Stems from challenges from obtaining drugs for lethal injection, prompting the state to explore alternative execution methods.
Don't read the whole thing.
But
It's
I'm
boring.
not. I'm saying you still have a few things to choose from.
Yeah.
I guess they were having trouble getting drugs, which seems really ridiculous.
Stupid.
You can't get lethal drugs.
Yeah.
Lots of lethal drugs.
Lethal.
Lethal. You can just put someone to sleep with too much anesthesia.
Yeah.
Like what?
It's all way more complicated than it needs to be. Apparently,
Yeah.
like the amount of money that it costs to actually kill a person, apparently, is like all the paperwork
Yes.
and the process. It's like it should be as simple as like, I have this needle, boom, sleep, good night.
Exactly.
Done.
That's
Yeah.
what I would do.
Are you like anti-death penalty?
I always get shit for everything because I'm the empathetic one.
That's not
Um,
empathetic for who in this case. That's the thing, right? Empathetic for the guy who raped and murdered 30 women, and now he's got the death sentence. Aw, not him.
not him, but in some cases, yes.
Okay. So for me, I'm only for death penalty when it's not circumstantial evidence.
Mhm.
Where it's,
Well, it can't be for me. In that
Yeah.
situation, there's no fucking possible way.
I mean, it has to be like very clear that
Yes.
this person did it.
Yeah. Like a Ted Bundy sort of case. He's killed lots of people. We
Open
know
close.
that. They've admitted it. Like there's a lot going on. Yes.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people who die death row that you've seen, you wouldn't have wanted them to die.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it comes out that they were innocent, and that's sad.
Yeah, that's the question, right? Like whenever I think of from the macro level, it's like you do 100 of these, how many innocence is enough is tolerable? Right?
None.
Yeah, I'm at 0
None.
too. That's why I'm at because some people are like, well, it's going to happen. It should never happen.
It should never happen.
Somebody should never be killed. But then I wonder too, like the capital. Okay, so the death penalty itself, it's like the idea. It's not a deterrent in any way, shape, or form. Nobody who commits a crime like that, nobody who murders and rapes, thinks, oh, you know what? I won't do this if there's a death penalty.
Of course.
Life in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's worth it. But death penalty, no. It literally deters absolutely
No,
nobody.
these people are sick.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop doing those things.
Yeah. But then the question is for society, what's better? And I think whatever. I don't hold their lives with much
Regard.
Yeah. I mean, bye. Like, why should we fucking feed this piece of shit 3 meals a day and lock up a cell and cost this money to just keep them alive?
Why do we keep them there for 20
years?
years?
I don't know. Kill them. Finish
That's
it.
what I'm saying. So why do we do that? We
I
feed
don't
them
know.
every day. I don't either.
Again, because somebody's making money.
For profit somehow.
Somebody's making money. I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet you'll have people in the comments going like,
Telling
"It's
us.
this
is why, this is why.
we're gonna get these conspiracy theory
Or
YouTube
no, I
videos
think we'll
now.
just probably get answers that we don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
as well.
It's not saying it's not a subject that I've delved too deep into in terms
No,
of like
I just know what I feel feelings wise about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a feelings-based person.
I am. But you see so many people who are innocent.
So the subject about the assisted death, this is what happened last night. And this is where it started. Because you were telling me this. And I said, how old is he? And you said 28. And I go, geez, wow. And you were like mad that I said that almost.
No, you sounded like you were so annoyed and judgmental about this guy.
Well, because here's the thing. From my perspective, 28-year-old healthy guy, not mentally, okay, physically healthy guy wants to kill himself. That's a shocking story. You know what I mean? It's like,
it is very shocking.
that's why I'm saying it's like, wow, gee, when I heard he's only 28, that's like, wow. I wasn't saying like, hell no or anything. I was just saying like, fuck.
Remember I was asking ChatGPT about it and it said that people who have never had any sort of mental issues don't realize that mental anguish is sometimes even worse
I understand
than physical.
all that. What I'm saying is he's 28. When you're 19 and you're 23 and you're 25 and you're 28, your brain changes, your thoughts changes, your life changes when you're 30s and 40s. So it's like a very young time to be suffering that badly that he would want to do that.
Yeah.
That's where I was coming from.
It must be so
shocking
horrible
that he's so young and he's made this decision for himself. Because I watched some of the little bit of the video and he seemed, well spoken.
That's when he is. Eloquent. He's not like an idiot.
Yeah.
No. He is an intelligent guy. So
just can't take it.
That just shows you how much suffering he's going through. Like his depressions are so bad. What he's saying is I'm going to do it, whether you help me or not. So I'm going to move to the Netherlands so I can do it in a peaceful way.
Now he's got to wait 4 years.
Yeah, I think he's at 3 more left or something. I don't
know.
So
the question is, okay.
If something comes out and helps him.
Right. If you're him and you've made the decision that you want to, you could do it now, right? On your own. Or you could wait 3 full years to have it done in the way that you want.
He's only doing it that way for his family.
I understand. Is it worth it? And we talked about this other thing too, because you said people like, and I want to make this clear, like, having a purpose, like whether you're dealing with struggling, mentally, having a purpose changes your perspective on whether or not you want to live. And the simple example I used is you have young kids, right? So maybe, if let's say, for example, you have two people that are 35, they're both in the same mental state. One has 2 kids, one doesn't. The one without 2 kids, without family, with whatever, has a much easier path to make the decision to go,
Well, yeah, of course.
And then, for some people it's faith, for some people it's family, for some people it's the impact they want to have on the world. And it's sad when that's not enough.
Well, when you can't shower yourself or get out of bed, you can't have much impact on the world when you just can't do it.
Right. Like, and then I guess you have the alternative sometimes, and we talked about this too. Sometimes if you have kids, you may feel like you killing yourself benefits
them, yeah.
Because
you're hurting them so badly.
Right, especially if you have life insurance.
Mm-hmm. Or and you're hurting them so badly every day, because you're not there for them. You can't be there for them.
You don't want them to deal with it.
You don't want them to see it.
If you feel like a burden on them, you might do it for that reason.
And even if you're not, people feel that way.
Yeah.
You see it in suicide notes all the time.
I'm hopeful that this guy finds something.
Me too.
And then there's a spark. Who knows? Maybe he has dinner with the right thing, and who knows? Maybe his brain changed. I'm open to the possibility. I'm open.
I'm open. I'm not thinking there's going to be a spark in his personality. It's not a personality thing. So I am hoping that new medication comes out, something new that can help him.
A miracle. Who knows?
Yeah.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah. Good luck.
We're pulling for you.